Wow, what a cute little dog. My viewers and my subscriber. Isn't this dog beautiful? Yes, so welcome again back to Life with Jennifer, my viewers and my subscriber. Thank you for keep coming back. In this video, we'll be looking at two things. The Prime Minister of Jamaica has said in his recent press briefing that the local government election will be called before February 2024, which is a good thing, because from 2016, Jamaica has not have a local government election. So some of the areas is without councillors, because some have died, some resign, the whole political trauma that's going on. So it is welcoming to see that the Prime Minister will be calling the local elections. And Damion Crawford still has the ambition to become Jamaica's next Prime Minister. But before we get into Damion, I want you to look at what the Prime Minister says about local government election.
Countries in the region, the courts have ruled that the postponement of local government election was unconstitutional. Our local government election has been postponed to February. Can you say to the country today if we will go to the polls for a local government election by February?
The government intends to fulfill the constitutional requirements and the constitution as it relates to the local government elections. They have set a date. It has been postponed. If there is need, if something happens, if there is an exogenous shock or weather event, then certainly that has to be considered. But as it is now, it is the intention of the government to fulfill its constitutional duties.
So there you have it. The government said he has to fulfill its constitutional duties. So we know that election is in the year for the local government election. On the other hand, we need to listen to this clip to see that hear what Mr. Damion Crawford has to say and becoming Prime Minister.
I guess over the last 2 years almost. Why is that the case?
And one of the worst things I think can happen is to be perceived as a liar. And if I don't have the influence over the direction of the party, I can't be the main speaker and voice of the party, because I don't have that influence to guarantee that the things that I'm proposing will be done. So if I'm out there saying we're going to paint the country blue, we're going to paint the country blue, and I don't have any influence over the paint that we choose, then there's a high probability that the country will be pink. And I will be perceived a liar. So because I have much less influence now than I had under Peter Phillips or under Portia Simpson, I don't find it comfortable to be a major announcer of my opinions, because I have very little influence in the directions of the party now.
If you're unsuccessful this time around, are you getting away from, or are you stepping out of representational politics?
It's not that easy to step away, and there's also a sickness that most politicians have to believe that they are the ones best able to do it. And in spite of the few that may have negative opinions, especially in the decision-making chairs, there are many who have committed themselves to me in the public. There are many who have supported my journey in the public, and many who believe that there's a high probability that if I am successful to gain power in any real way, that I'll be able to change something. So I've always drawn on those who believe, which I believe are much more. I was elated. I just came back on the road. I went to St. Thomas. The response was mind-boggling from the audience. And I went to
East Rural. People were very happy to see you.
And they still have a sprain hand from it. So those people also deserve my consideration. But you have to always consider.
So you're always infected with the spirit of
like
wanting to represent
it's like
people.
a job. You want to, and you think you can. You think that you can do it better than most people, and you think you can change it. Most people who think I should be in charge of all the 3 million people have that innate craziness that I'm the one best able to do it. It's not easy to just step away from something that I've been doing this for 19 years at the forefront of it.
Ultimately, do you want to become Prime Minister of Jamaica one day?
Yes, I've never been shy in saying that. I would love to have the opportunity to be the plane, because everybody have things that they can do on their own. You can be a bicycle just by yourself without power. If you become a member of parliament or a cabinet person, you can be a bus. If you become the Prime Minister, you can be a plane. So if you're going to move people quickly, why not be a plane? So I've always wanted that opportunity, that I am the chief decision maker of where we go. But if I get the opportunity to decide for education or health or housing or whatever, I'll be able to do more. So, for example, I've always been having camps for inner city children. When I was not in power, 20, 25, 30 from my own resources. When I was MP 400. That's what politics is. If I was Prime Minister, it would be a policy that all schools must have a summer program. So therefore, the role of the Prime Minister, I really believe that if I had an opportunity, I could make some serious changes.
So there you have it, my viewers and subscribers. Mr. Crawford still have the ambition to become the next Prime Minister of Jamaica. And of course, every one of us should have an ambition to become the best. So I wish him all the best in his endeavors. Remember to like, share, and to subscribe to this channel, Life with Jennifer. Always a blessing to have you watching these videos. See you next time.